Good morning. Welcome to Am I Driving? Today is Easter Sunday. It's April 4th in 2026. Wish everybody a happy Easter or Pascha, however you say it. The weather outside today is drizzly. Temperature is 65 degrees. Humidity is 94%, and winds are out of the east-southeast at 6 miles an hour. So I spent the morning this morning, as per usual, watching Chris's live stream today. And with the day being Easter and significant for new beginnings and resurrections, I thought I would go ahead and put together another video. So I thought I would maybe show a little bit of the sausage being made, and maybe just see how I'm doing it. Maybe I'm open to criticism or feedback. But this is kind of my notes of some of the topics that I was thinking about doing with this. Um, So we got a play on Grim Grizz where I research a few topics, four at a time, around the different dice to give individuals an opportunity to use the benefit of their savings throws to be able to delve into a topic against with the four: social, survivalist, wisdom, heart. And then I could use either dice or church cards uh, in order to pick the topic. Or I just thought I could collab with Graham and follow his stream to um, use the topic that had the greatest number. That might be interesting. I misspelled stream. I'm a horrible typer, y'all. Um, I could introduce myself, kind of doing like a self rando, um, kind of piece by piece. There's some parts of my story that I do have some trepidation, but are very significant um, to my shaping. The Lord has used some pretty deep things in my life, and I don't know if sharing them all in a regular rando, so maybe piecemealing those things out on my own channel through prayer and discernment might be a better thing. So the Book of John has come up quite a bit uh, through some of my consumption of the TLC. So I considered maybe reading through John. A couple of the things that came up was in one live stream they were talking about how people have these conceptions of religion and that people think they know it, but they haven't even read the Book of John. Another instance where maybe the Spirit's moving me to do something like that is the fact of, again, Grimm. Um, Mentioning the verily, verily statements, and there are quite a few verily, verily statements in the Book of John. So that was an idea I had. Another one, this was kind of from Claire in the political kind of thing. So use Google Trends to dive deep into topics being searched on the internet. That would give the opportunity for politics to pop in there. That was her feedback and some of my comments from the first video. Um, we got a play on the name of my channel, which is rotate through topics of driving. So golf, different things that I build around my house, some of my favorite content to watch outside of the TLC are things where people are building or fixing things. So top of the list for me is probably Vice Grip Garage. It's a guy who goes and finds older pre-OBD reader vehicles, fixes them up. Another one is a guy in Estonia. His name's Ant Pants. I'll plug both of their channels through this. Maybe I'll learn how to do links in the comments to both of their channels. He lives, he's got a plot of land in Estonia. He's got tractors he works on. He does a bunch of welding. Super fascinating. He's a really funny dude. So anyway, I could do something like that on my channel and then rotate the things. I thought that would be kind of interesting and rotating around the theme of driving. And then obviously things that drive me crazy, I could do that as well. That's another play on the word driving there. Um, and then this one kind of doesn't do it for me, but it's a possibility nonetheless. Just content that I run through the TLC and doing commentary similar to the OG himself. Just using it as a place to bounce ideas off and to think out loud. And then so this last one, this one interests me probably the most out of all this. This would be less of a grifter kind of thing, and maybe has the possibility to bring in some of my story as well. It's the question of what do you want? I I have been struggling with this question for some time, and uh, I actually have pages that I have written trying to decipher what it is that I want. Um, my stock answer for this question for years was I typically try to steer away from what I want because when I think about the things that I want, they are geared around things that I've come to believe are ultimately destructive for not only myself but the people around me and the people that I care about the most. And so the stock answer was is I try not to do what I want, but do what he wants. And so I've been kind of struggling and exploring that out here in this space could be something worthwhile. So I think the next step of this, and typically what I do with a lot of the things that I'm working through, I'll usually do a pros and cons list for um, the different things, and this is how I tend to boil things down. So let's do that now. All right, so this is my third time now trying to record this. I originally tried to do it live with the Google Vids. It looks to be that I only have 10 minutes per scene. I did just try to extend out the scene to see if it would give me more time, but it's only given me 10 minutes. It could also be the 71% storage. Maybe I don't have enough space. So I am learning as I go. I'm gonna try to concise this up. To be honest with you, it's losing a lot of flavor. My original kind of doing this, I was doing it live. I was actually typing all the stuff on the screen and blew out live and or live for the recording. So let's try to get this under Brett already a minute in. So what I do is I oftentimes do a pros cons list when I'm trying to decide what direction to move in. So we came up with some ideas, kind of a rough draft, so to speak. So pros and cons for the different ideas. So the big thing with Grims's and following off the dice would be the sheer size. I'd have to have different topics ready to go. Um, Now, you can make the argument that there's going to be a lot of upfront work in order to have those topics available so that I could then kind of cycle through one at a time as we do the different topics based on the dice winning. Um, Another con would be that I'm grifting off of the idea that Grimm has already come up with and developed. Um, and then pro to that could be um, sort of a weaving of the tapestry of the flotilla. So by creating a doorway between our two channels, um, that could do a couple things like offer a pathway for people to jump across, especially noobs. Not to say that derogatorily, but new folks that come in. One of the things that I still have trouble to this day is finding the different ships in the flotilla. Excuse me. So this might help provide a doorway to at least get from one channel to another in that. Introduction of myself through kind of an autobiographical thing. The big con is that I'm out there, that I misspeak, that I say something that has a negative impact towards my family. Yeah, so that's obviously the big con. Uh, Pro for this would be that to the degree that I am driving my car, I'm putting it out there it would give me time to think about it, to analyze it, to put it out there at my speed. Um, the con to that is I'm fallible as they come. So putting something out there that could negatively impact somebody I care about scares the daylights out of me. All right, so number this one, read the Bible through John. The big con out is that everybody, Christian YouTube's full of it. We see it all the time. Do we need another opinion piece? One of the pros, I would say, the big pros to that is you can't go wrong reading the Bible. It could help direct my movement into a church home. Um, and not to mention all the other stuff that the Spirit tends to glean through the reading of the Word. Um, and you just can't go wrong reading the Bible. One that I thought of is that it could help people develop a study pattern by watching me do it. Um, because I tend to study the Bible by initially reading, then kind of taking notes, then using the concordance to kind of jump around and see where the thing leads. So that could be a possible benefit. At 5 minutes. All right, so I think I'm finally going to get it in here. The next one is use Google Trends to get the hot topics of the day and then kind of give my opinion. Uh, you know, the con is that I'm allowing the mind control to dictate my stream, um, which would be that I'm not driving the thing. Um, also, those topics just my life is better that I don't give so much attention to all these topics and the idea of eating the zeitgeist. Just, it's gross. I don't like it. The pro to this would be that I would be living up to the name of my channel, right? I'm not driving; it's the mind control driving. um, which is interesting because that would be a third thing that I didn't think about when originally coming up with the name. Really thinking about the dynamic between myself and what power I think I have to control myself, and the spirit or spirits. We want to get real woo. So this would be another aspect of that. The zeitgeist kind of doing it. One of the benefits is that keeping up with current affairs, especially with the things that I do, and I do this for even people I care about. I pay attention to things that won't normally get up to the highest level of my list, just so that I'm able to engage in a healthy way with individuals. Um, some people may say that's being disingenuous, but I find that having some fuel to initiate conversations and allow the things to build up. For one, it shows that I care about the individuals, but for two, it allows then for the conversations to kind of grow organically. So that would be a pro to coming up with that. I'm at 7 minutes. We got three left. Rotating through topics, golf, building, fixing things. So one of the pros is that this would probably be funnest. Being able to build things, switching around, it wouldn't get boring. It would not get boring. I put that on twice, but it wouldn't get boring. I'd be doing different things, right? And some of my favorite channels are that's what they do. A lot of people do that. It's already out there. It's 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 been done. It wouldn't be new. And then another big con would be the work. Most of the people that do these things, there's hours of footaging, hours of editing. You just basically setting up cameras and running with it, and then going through. So it would be very much a time demand. Work through some of the content of the TC and some of my interest. Everybody does this again. I'm also not trained in a lot of the topics that I'd like to explore. And, I mean, who wants the opinion of some jackrabbit who's like trying to understand, I don't know, name your topic that I decide to watch one day. The pro to this would be that people get to see how I explore. They get to see, the way I do this, and maybe it helps them to do it as well. All right, 1 minute left, and we got what do I want? So the big con for this one is it's a deep hole that echoes, and I could be there for a long, long time. And exploring this hole, what do I learn about myself? Um, do I want to do that on the internet for everybody to see? There's definitely some genuineness to it. Uh, you know, I put this here because when I was doing it, this final thing kind of came out. And notice this word, do I want to watch me do this discovery? Pop up here in the idea of what do I want? And I'm asking the question, what do I want? And it's kind of interesting because, yeah. All right, so that's the process. That's where I'm at right now. I appreciate you guys paying attention. Um, Feel free to leave comments, critiques, advice. Um, yeah, it's Easter 2026. I hope everybody's having a good one. Um, he is risen.